Welcome to Spoilers.
Hi.
We got to see Thor Ragnarok last night.
Did we?
I don't know, did we?
I don't know.
I don't know. It was crazy. A lot of things happened.
Really? Did they?
I mean, yes. But we're going to be reviewing Thor Ragnarok, the third and, I believe, final Thor film.
Oh no.
Yay! I don't know.
No.
But,
No
yeah.
more Chris Hemsworth.
well, I mean, we still got those two Avengers films.
I mean, like, he's also probably going to do other movies.
No. He's done after that. No, he's retiring. He's made enough money. He's good.
He probably has, to be honest. The amount of money those things make.
Yeah. They get that. You know,
Is that the noise for money?
Yep. They got a nice house in LA, and they're good. So, yeah. But so to start off,
Yeah?
what were your overall thoughts about this film?
I enjoyed it more than I do other Marvel films. 'Cause
Okay.
You know how I feel about the Marvel movies. I enjoy them the first time,
Yeah.
and I don't want to watch them ever again. Like, I watched Avengers the second time, and I was really upset, and I did not actually, like, I didn't want to finish the movie, but I did anyway.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy them as much the second time. There are only a few here and there that I have enjoyed a second time, like Winter Soldier, hopefully Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah.
That was really good. But this movie, I think it might be one of the ones I can enjoy again.
Okay.
I think maybe because I missed some of the lines because of the amount of laughter.
Yeah.
But
There was a lot of laughing.
there was a lot. Believe me, it was very funny.
Yeah.
I think it did a really good job of sticking to one thing, which Marvel movies
Yes.
don't tend to do very well. They're like all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, these newest ones have been doing better.
Yeah.
But, like, it stuck with kind of, like, this comedy kind of idea. Like, there was action to it, but it was a comedy movie.
Yeah.
It wasn't this kind of, like, action-packed movie that was supposed to be like that. It was definitely a comedy movie,
Mm-hmm.
which I thought was really good. What about you?
Yeah. My impression was I came out really enjoying it. There were a couple things that I had some issues with that we'll talk about a little bit
We'll talk
later.
about the plot after.
Yeah, but for the most part, I had a really positive experience. It's one of the, like, I don't think I've ever heard an audience in a theater laugh that loudly and that much. It's very
Yeah.
rare.
Well,
I don't see.
It is much more. When I
don't
saw
see many
Deadpool, I
comedies.
heard that a lot.
You
did not enjoy Deadpool as
No, I
much.
did not enjoy Deadpool that much, but
I love that movie.
I thought there were so many jokes that were just, I was laughing so hard at.
Mm-hmm.
And there were so many great moments. Taika Waititi's humor is very apparent in this film.
Yes.
If you watched anything else that he's done, like, you can tell that
he plays one of the characters too,
Yeah,
like my favorite character.
He voices Korg.
Corey. That's
Yeah, and it's great. But yeah, so, like, my overall thoughts is I really enjoyed it. It was just generally just a very fun time. So
Yeah.
if you're looking for that, just go to see Thor. That's
yeah,
what it
it's really really fun.
Yeah. What was your favorite part, Levi?
Okay, so my favorite part was when Thor was talking about Loki, and he's telling a story from their childhood.
This was a great bit.
And he talks about how, like, Loki turned into a snake when they were kids. Like, they were kids because he knew Thor loved snakes.
Yeah.
And so Thor went to go pick it up. He's like, yeah, and he picked up the snake. And then the snake came back, and he turned back into Loki and went, I'm Loki. And then he stabbed me. And that was so funny. Like, it was just a complete turn.
Yeah.
Where it was just like, he tricked me into picking him. No, then he stabbed me.
Yeah.
It was really funny.
I think my favorite part of what they did in this is just, like, what they did with Hulk and how he could talk and, like, the personality they gave him.
Yes,
I
Hulk
really
was
enjoyed
really
that
good.
because it's a lot better than just a guy
Well, what
who
was your
jumps
favorite
around and
part
grunts. My favorite part
Like, what was your favorite
was
part
probably
with the Hulk?
when Thor and Hulk were in that room and they were kicking around stuff and just being angry.
Yeah, and he
That
threw
was
the shield
really
at
great.
him.
Yeah.
You can't just throw shields at people. You could have killed me. I'm sorry.
It's so
I just
great.
get so angry. So funny.
Mm-hmm.
Very well done.
Now here's the sadder bit. What was your least favorite part?
We might agree on this.
I think it's Odin's death, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it was Odin. Like everything with Odin was annoying. Like
Well,
it was weird. It was
wasn't
out of
explained.
place. It didn't feel right with the movie. It felt
No.
forced in. That's my real only down part with the movie, other than one other thing.
Yeah.
Should I talk about it now? Or?
Sure, talk about it.
It's Doctor Strange. Like, I think Benedict Cumberbatch is a good Doctor
I know.
Strange. I didn't like the Doctor Strange movie that much.
I didn't either. I was really disappointed with that one.
Well, it's because we read the comics.
That is true. But they still should
But like
do it well.
he felt again another thing that felt really forced in. Like it was funny and it was kind of like when he kept jumping back and forth and Thor spilling his beer. It was funny, but it just didn't. It slowed down the movie.
For me, it made. I think like pacing could have been better. But for me, the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, oh, it actually makes sense because like he would stop them in this type of situation. Like that's just his kind of duty.
I mean,
Because they're magical beings in a way. Like he's the trickster. Yes, it's more kind of actually like science.
To an extent,
but it is his duty to protect.
I understand how they kind of got it in, but no matter what, it still felt weird and kind of out of place. It didn't fit with the rest of the movie.
Mm-hmm. But like, based on his responsibilities, it would also be weird if it didn't happen. So
I don't know. That's a maybe. That's just my opinion. Again.
Especially because of his past there on Earth, him being back in New York is a big like red flag.
I guess. Like I understand that.
So
again, I don't. They kind of. Never mind. I'm not going to go into it anymore because that's a waste of time. I want to talk about the actual good stuff.
Yes. So now we're just gonna go. Oh, actually, oh no. I got ahead of myself.
What are you gonna?
What did you think about? I got ahead of myself.
Oh my gosh.
What did you think of just the general plot of the film?
I thought it wasn't amazing. It wasn't something special, but it did what it wanted to do.
It wasn't groundbreaking, but it kind of took a kind of standardish plot and kind of
made it had fun with it. Yeah, and they didn't play into the tropes that much.
No, that's what I was quite happy about.
Yeah, they kind of, there were a few tropey parts here and there, but it wasn't like anything that was like, oh, this is ruining the movie for me. It's like, oh, that's kind of funny.
And it wasn't.
It's kind of cute.
And it wasn't like you knew exactly what was going to happen before. Like there were things that were like, yeah, this is going to happen, but there were some things that was like, oh, that was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, exactly. Where it was like, oh, you actually like. So I'm going to talk about Hela's death.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Well,
it was kind of like
assumed death.
Assumed death. Yes, exactly. It didn't. We have no idea for sure.
Yeah.
But Thor can't actually defeat Hela.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because I understand she's the firstborn. She's most likely more powerful, but if they both draw their power from, like they were talking, that was the thing. It was saying that Thor and Hela both draw their power from Asgard. But then they're saying Asgard is a people instead of a city. I don't know if that was supposed to be metaphorical in the movie or physical, because. Then you'd think, well, Hela wouldn't have been as powerful because Asgard wouldn't have been on her side, kind of thing.
I don't know if it matters of like the side, but like more just like.
But the thing is, the people were leaving as well.
Yeah.
And so they were kind of already like out of the city.
Yeah.
I guess that was a plot point that was kind of weird. It kind of felt like that. It didn't feel forced. I would say it just kind of felt. It just was like, oh, that's interesting. It probably could have been explained a little better. Yeah. But this movie fit a lot in a short. And again, that if they had just quickened up or like fixed up those scenes, like my personal with Doctor Strange and Odin, I think they would have been able to explain a little more because those scenes took up a good chunk of that movie.
I think this movie could have done with an extra 5 or 10 minutes about just to help resolve this
because it wasn't even like, ooh, I like you don't like, oh, you just don't understand. It was literally like it just happened. They just decided that was happening, and then you didn't get to any explanation for it. But so I just still thought plot was good. Wasn't anything special, but it was a comedy. A comedy plot doesn't need to be amazing.
No,
it needs to have that
move the story forward.
Exactly.
So,
which it did very well.
Yeah, I think we're on the same page for the most part with the plot.
Yeah.
So next, which is a bit that
Matt Damon's character.
Matt Damon, that was a great bit. Matt Damon's cameo was amazing. I hope we have some way of bringing him into some other films. Yeah, he's great. I love
Matt Damon.
I love him.
Love you, Matt Damon.
I want to start talking about the characters and their performances and how you felt like they did with developing them further and stuff like that. Start off with the main man himself, Thor. How did you feel about Chris Hemsworth's performance and what they did with the character of Thor?
They definitely took a turn with it. Yes. Which I appreciated. But they took a turn in the sense that it actually made it a little more like the comics. Yes. So he was cocky still. Like they were kind of bringing him to this point of like, oh, I understand now. Like I'm not going to be like this. No, Thor's always a little cocky, but he's smart about it now. And they did that, and I thought that was really well done. Yeah. And the thing is, he's cocky, but it's funny because he's terrible at it sometimes. Yes.
Very much so.
Like when he tried to lean on something and he just...
Oh, when he says he's the god of thunder and he just sparkles.
Yeah, his hands sparkle. Beware his hands sparkle.
Great moments. But, yeah, they're less afraid to kind of be more like the comics these days because they're well, there's also different management, but they're realizing that more and more that people are fine with the kind of... They don't need standard heroes.
No, you don't. You don't need to change. The reason these characters are already doing so well in comics is because they've been made properly.
Yes.
You don't need to change them.
Yeah.
Which is a problem they had with Batman v Superman.
Yes.
They changed Superman a little too much. They changed Batman a little bit.
Not
as much.
No, and we still loved him.
I loved him.
He was the best part of that film, by far.
Every single scene with him. Ben Affleck did an amazing job acting. I haven't seen Ben Affleck do a really bad job usually, though.
No.
He's a very good actor. He's a very good writer.
Right, but we need to get back on track. This is a Thor review.
I know. I just get so excited. I love that man.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I loved what because like they finished off this kind of 3-movie story arc of the Thor films, I guess including the Avengers, very well. We're kind of like at the beginning he's supposed to become king, but he's not really worthy and ready for it. And now finally he has the opportunity and he can take it. He's ready for it.
Yeah, and he was even almost a little hesitant to it. Like he wasn't trying to fight for it anymore. It didn't seem like his main goal. It seemed more like his destiny.
He understood that it was a heavy responsibility. He didn't want that, but he understands it's necessary for him to take it because there's no one else to take it.
Yes, which made him more worthy. That kind of being humble about it, which was well. I think Chris Hemsworth did another. He did a really good job with the character.
Yeah,
he had fun with it, and I don't know.
He plays it very well.
Yeah, he does. He does a very good job. Nothing like incredibly special about it, but it was good. It was good. It was what you wanted to see. So it was. It was Thor.
It was Thor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like his haircut. He finally doesn't have to wear it. I don't know, like the first Thor movie in the Avengers, like his hair looked more real, and then they put this really stringy wig.
Yeah, this one looked like I think they were trying to get you to like the new haircut even more.
Yeah.
And they even kind of made it look a little greasy, if you know what I mean. Like it felt like unkept and like flat against his head.
So he finally had his real hair.
Yeah.
Just short. It was great. Next character, Loki. My personal favorite from these films.
Yes.
Tom Hiddleston.
He's another great actor.
He's an amazing actor, and I think he has a kind of similar role to how he was in Thor: The Dark World, where he just kind of like
screws with things.
Yeah, he has like his own interests, but he'll help out. He's not like a villain.
He did become more of an anti-hero in this.
Yes, definitely so, because he was definitely more helpful.
He was kind of taking that turn like that Catwoman does now, like where she's kind of coming back around. He's doing this thing where he's like, all right, look, I've still got my own gains, but by the end he's like, you know what, I understand, I can help you out here.
Yeah.
Like he kind of comes around and becomes almost a hero.
Yeah.
He's more hero than anti.
Yes. Good one.
Thank you.
And
I don't
Hulk.
even know how that was a joke.
I loved Hulk in this film. I thought, especially Bruce Banner,
well
like
done.
Mark Ruffalo's Bruce Banner.
I
like
wanted more Mark Ruffalo.
I did want more of him. I felt they kind of.
We need a Hulk movie.
We do, but they can't because they don't have the full rights. So they're spreading it across this movie and the next 2 Avengers.
I just want a Hulk movie.
I know.
I don't understand. I don't understand me. I just want a Hulk movie.
Yeah, but like just how his mind had developed over these like 2 years on whatever the heck the trash planet's name is.
Yeah.
And kind of became, he's like a toddler, but he's got even all this power and fame, and it's kind of great.
Well, he's more like, he's not like a toddler, he's probably like a 5-year-old, kind of, 5 or 6-year-old, so it's like just a little past toddler.
Okay.
Like, he's kind of like, because he can talk.
Yeah.
And he can understand, like, he's able to think for himself, like, understand, well, I was angry, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like, he's almost a toddler, but he's a little bit past that.
Yeah. And also
he's understanding others' emotions. That's the key part.
His fight with Thor.
It was a very.
I'm thinking of a Thor movie.
Fight with Hulk on Hulk.
I'm thinking of a Thor movie, but talking about Hulk. It's very interesting. But yeah, that fight scene was pretty great. And
it was well done.
Just what they did with him as.
I think the arena looked really nice.
Character.
Like the sand looked really pretty.
Yeah, I really liked that.
I thought it just looked very, very nice.
Yeah, and also I really liked what they did, the little moment they're hitting it, and they're probably going to do more in Avengers, where the kind of how he was stuck and he's losing control again, and how like Bruce Banner's having to deal with that, like how because he was having that kind of like traumatic experience where he's focusing on things that aren't that important. Like he was like, "Where's Tony Stark? These are his clothes. Well, I can't wear his clothes."
Yeah,
like those moments. So like he's kind of having a mental breakdown.
Yeah, I mean, I really like that. I know they're doing like this like this story arc over like 3 movies or so. Because he turns back into the Hulk.
Yeah.
And then they don't kind of deal with that after. And I'm
Yeah.
sure they'll deal with it in like another movie. But like not even Thor's like Thor, his friend, who should have been like, shoot, like he didn't want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Should have kind of had something to say, but I don't know.
He was more focused on his people, but
I mean, like afterwards, even like afterwards,
Yeah.
they finished up and they were just sailing through space.
mm-hmm.
Probably had time to talk to him. He had time to talk to Loki again. Throw
Yeah.
another piece of crap at him.
Probably, yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I know they're doing over 3 movies. I just really wanted something like some
Yeah.
kind of closure.
Well, it's kind of like, I guess, like a first act more so to his
Yeah.
story, so it's what they can do
Yeah.
right now
All right.
with the rights.
What
Next,
do you think of Hela?
Hela. I was watching listening to some other people talk about it, and it kind of put an interest on me. Like, was she a great villain because like it was a well-written character? Or was it because Kate Blanchett gave such a great performance?
Well, first off, I gotta say she is absolutely gorgeous.
She is,
Love that woman.
but
Just like I said to Matt Damon, call me, please.
I think there was enough there to satisfy me to understand her motivation.
She did a very good job.
She was very menacing.
She was very menacing. I love Kate Blanchett. I really do. And I think she did a great job with the character. I don't really care if she was written that well or not.
Yeah.
Because you can be written poorly, yet act in a way that makes the character good.
Yeah.
Because it's 2 things combined kind of thing. And even if it's not the best writing, if the acting is able to pull it together, then that's the character. You can't just judge it off of one part of it.
Yeah.
Because they work off each other.
And I think they did give her enough time. Like, as I was watching, I was like, yeah, they're actually giving her more time than they usually do for a villain.
They did focus on the villain a little more.
Yeah, it kept back between them a decent bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I was quite satisfied.
She
with
might be
what
my
they did
favorite
with her.
just because she's Kate Blanchett. She might be my favorite villain, other than Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton I think he was still the best.
Best, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Definitely. I think that's all we have to say off of that.
Valkyrie?
Yeah, so what did you think of Valkyrie as a character and performance by Tessa Thompson? I don't actually know her name because Valkyrie's just the title of her.
Yeah,
What's her actual name? Because I know in the comics they just call her Valkyrie, but like, what's her actual name?
Well, she's probably the last Valkyrie, so that's going to be her name. Kind of
Yeah,
thing.
okay.
But I loved her. She was really good. She was, again, very beautiful woman. Not as beautiful as Mark Ruffalo, but
No one's
as beautiful as Mark Ruffalo.
Very skilled warrior, definitely.
Yeah.
And that flashback, like they didn't have any.
Gorgeous.
It looked gorgeous. Like I heard someone talking about it. Like it's like a painting.
Yeah, it is
And
exactly.
then-
It reminded me of the painting from Batman v Superman. The
but-
angels and demons.
Yes.
One of the coolest parts of that movie, the painting.
Mm-hmm. But they didn't actually say anything during those flashbacks, but because of Tessa Thompson's emotions, you totally understood what was going on, which was great.
It was really emotional. Like there was nothing to it other than like pure emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was very well done, and her character did a good job. She did a good job acting this. Someone hiding that pain.
Yeah.
And not having to deal with it. And Loki, being an idiot, accidentally brought it out and just kind of brought her back almost. Kind of like, look, I've dealt with this pain, I understand. And I wanted to see more of her. Like, you didn't get to see her character develop as well as I wanted. Like, you saw the first part of her development, and then it just kind of pushed on by. And we didn't get to see her kind of deal with that kind of emotion. She was just a little angry, and then she was happy again.
Yeah?
Like, she was like, oh, I want revenge on her again. Like, I'm gonna get Hela, I'm gonna kill her kind of thing. And then it was just... like, she wasn't driven by it anymore, which is what they were trying to imply she joined Thor for. Like,
okay.
I don't know. I just really wanted more from her. Like, not the actor, but I wanted more of her character.
I was satisfied with what they gave.
Yeah. Well, I just really, really I thought there's a lot of potential there, so I'm excited to see what else they have.
Yeah, because...
I know it was a Thor movie, and they are already dealing with so many characters, and having to build that. I understand why they didn't go further with her, but I want to see more.
There's talk of there being like a female
yes,
team up
there was that.
She would be in it.
Exactly.
If it
I want that very badly.
Yeah. Then I forgot somebody, so I'm going to add him right now. Odin. He wasn't in it very much, but we learned
Look,
some
I
stuff
didn't
about
like
him.
the parts. I didn't like the writing. I didn't like what was going on there. Love the actor.
Yeah.
Does a good job.
What I did like is they finally shed light to what they have in the comics of like how actually like kind of sinister and also like tyrannical he was in his former days before Thor, and how like he was not a good person.
Nope.
He was
in the new Thor comics too. He's worse. He's
got a
again.
dark past, and he's not he may seem wise, but he really has made some dumb decisions that led to those points. So I like that they kind of shed light on that.
Love the actor.
Yeah, Anthony Hopkins great.
Love the character, not the movie, but it kind of out of nowhere changed the character the way he was acting.
Mm-hmm.
They just changed. They just kind of threw a lot at you, didn't give an explanation, and then just went, go with it, and then moved on. And then it was like, oh, this is what's driving him? I don't understand.
You can speculate.
They were trying to create this kind of emotional thing with Thor and Odin and the death driving him and the death giving him power, but it was all just too quick and too sloppy.
Well, and like they changed it from the alleyway to the field to kind of try to make it more emotional, but it wasn't enough to make it work.
Worth it.
Okay, now Grandmaster.
Oh my gosh!
I really liked him.
Amazing actor.
He's been recently in a lot of my Guardians of the Galaxy comics.
Yes.
And seeing him, Jeff Goldblum, play him on the screen, it was perfect to me. I think he perfectly captured the character.
I've read a few of those comics, and also looked at different pieces of it. I think he did a perfect impression. I think he did a great job. He was comedic. He was intelligent. Like, he was cocky, but cocky because he knew that he was like, you can't stop me.
And surprisingly sinister.
Yeah.
Just the melting,
the melting rod. Yeah, it's like, don't give me the melting rod. That's not a federal offense.
Yeah, that he was great.
He was fun. He Jeff Goldblum just knocked it out of the park and was just being himself and having fun.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell that was like the character that kind of came out the most because he just enjoyed what he was doing.
Yeah, and he was in it way more than I expected, and
which was amazing.
I was so happy with what they did with him.
Such a great character.
All right,
just amazing.
That brings us to our final bit, which is our 2 ratings we have.
Yeah.
Which first off, we're gonna start with your enjoyment rating. Out of 10, what would you give this
10.
for the enjoyment you got from this film?
I'm gonna give it a 9. Just because the Odin bit, like, I was sitting there kind of just waiting for it to be over. I was a little fidgety, and I was a little upset, like, what's going to happen? I don't know what's going to... And I just wasn't enjoying that moment of it. And I was just kind of personally, I just didn't enjoy it as much as I wanted it to. So it was such a small part, it's not going to affect it that much, so it's a 9 out of 10. And that's still an amazing rating. Yeah. And it's still, like, a super fun movie. And if you're just looking for even pure enjoyment, and you're not even looking for anything, like, this has got a good story too and stuff. Yeah. Just for that, I'd say see this movie. It's brilliant. It's so fun.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna give it a 10 because I was laughing so hard. I had so much fun. Like that bit was a little weird to me, but I still it was overcome by just all the action and comedy and set pieces. Like some of that, like Sakaar, that was it. Sakaar's the trash man. Like
yes,
the way it looked and the way it was designed was
anus.
Yeah, it was all just it was so well done to me. I really liked what they did with that. So enjoyment, I give it a 10 out of 10. I had a blast with it.
All right, what about quality? What's your rating for quality?
Quality also 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 already.
No.
Whoa!
Woo! I'm gonna give it a 7.
7?
Yeah, because I feel like there's the Odin problems where it's not explained, and there is like more kind of development that could have had.
Yeah.
And yeah, just more time for certain characters, and then just as much as I was fine with the plot, it still could have been a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I completely agree. I have the exact same rating. It was a 7.
Yeah.
I think this movie on its own, if you were just looking at a script, it's not amazing. It's not terrible. It's not something brilliant. It's good. It's just a good script.
It's a very solid, good film.
But the reason it's so good is because of the acting and just how. And again, like what you're saying, there were problems in the plot a little bit, the Odin stuff, things that weren't explained.
And visually, that because they switched it to the alleyway, like especially when I was looking in the field with Odin.
Yeah. When
I was looking over the kind of the sea, it was really bad, that effect. Like
it
I
looked
hated
weird.
That was really annoying to me.
Yeah. So again, if you're looking for a masterpiece, something that's going to make you think, something that's you're not going to go see this movie.
See Logan.
Watch Logan. If you want a superhero that's going to make you think and feel things, Logan. Logan's a 10 out of 10 on every level.
It's that one's
Perfect movie. Oscar movie.
Masterpiece.
Everyone should get
Logan and the Dark Knight.
Everyone should get an Oscar in that movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're looking for a fun time with just, good quality movie, something that you can be like, hey, I enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun, and it wasn't something that was like, I'm having fun because it's so terrible. And it was solid. It was a solid movie, and I'd recommend seeing it. It was amazing.
And if you're always complaining that they're trying to like set up the next movie in the actual movie, not just in the end credit scenes, it doesn't really do that. It's a very self-contained story.
It was, I give credit to them for that.
I really like it because like all I need to set up the next movie is just in credit scenes. I don't need it in the actual movie.
Yep.
Because I know what's happening. Well, it's all good.
This went 10 minutes longer than we thought it would, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So
we cut down a bit. So,
thank you for watching.
Spoilers. This has been our Thor Ragnarok review. We'll be back in 2 weeks for Justice League.
Ooh.
I'm real excited for that.
Maybe we'll do one for the Orient Express.
Maybe Murder on the Orient Express in a week because I want to see that.
Because Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp.
Because I love me some Johnny Depp.
Oh boy. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.